Steve here, and we are at I-30, or actually Red Line Raceway today with old Goldie. They got a donk event out here, so we got a whole bunch of big wheeled cars. What is a donk? A donk is traditionally a full-sized American sedan with significantly increased ride height and large diameter rims with low profile tires. Despite the unusual appearance for a race car, these vehicles can be extremely fast. I've seen big wheel donked out cars run in the 5-second range in the 8th mile. So we came out here just to try to make some clean passes. Not sure what the prep's gonna be like today. We're gonna find out, but it can't be any worse than Yellow Belly. So hoping to run some bottom 7s and maybe get to race against some cool cars and just see if we can have some fun with the car today. The transmission in the truck is slipping pretty bad the whole way here, and I don't know if it's gonna get me home at this point. Third and fourth gear seem to be a little slippy, so I'm gonna have to really baby it home. Might end up going home in second. We'll see. But anyway, let's see what we can get into today. So I got in here and I paid 30 bucks to get in. This is like a track rental. This organization is renting the track, and it was 30 bucks to get in, and they're like, oh, go get your tech card over there. And I go to the tent that they told me to go to, and it was another 30 bucks for the tech card. So this is a $60 test and tune. And I'm like, man, that's a lot. I'm here. Truck's transmission's about to fall out. I did all this to come here, like, let's make a day of it. And I was like, are they prepping the track at least? And the guy's like, he didn't really seem like he knew a whole lot about the terminology, but he's like, radial prep? He's like, they're doing radial prep. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And the prep seems pretty radial prep. If you look at my tire right now, it is like just caked with all kinds of rubber and rocks, and they definitely got that thing sticky. So, but a lot of these cars are on a hard tire, so if too many of them go down the track, it'll probably start to degrade pretty quick. So we got to take this opportunity to try to go out there and hit it hard. See if we can't make it go a number today. Okay, recording. So the prep is freaking on. So I'm gonna be sending a lot more off the hit. But I just made a hit. I forgot to hit record. You guys missed it, but I wasn't racing anybody. It was just a solo run. The car felt good. I left on 10 pounds of boost, which is pretty conservative. It's probably like a 1.5 60 foot or something. But I don't know what it ran, but the prep is freaking sticky today, so we're gonna definitely hit it a lot harder. That was a 716 at 95 with a 1.56 60 foot. We're gonna turn up that launch. I can't really add any more power to it. All right, so just looking over the log, I had to adjust some fueling. We were a little bit lean right on the hit, but then it went under control when we were cruising. So I just added a little bit more of the launch. We're gonna be launching with like targeting 13 PSI on the launch, on the hit. So if it'll hold it, then this should be a hell of a rip. I'm hoping to get into the 1.4 60 foot area range. You know, we're running about 21, 22 PSI for the entire pass. So the car really won't do any better than that with this turbo. I already got 2 vacuum tees in the wastegate, and the solenoid's basically just wide open. Anyway, we're gonna just try to make up for it on the 60 foot. If we can get in the 1.4 60s and the car holds it, then she's gonna be on a lick. Did a somersault again. I need to find some way to store this in here. It's gonna break if it hasn't already. Looks like it survived. Cooling temps, hot as hell. We better park her, baby. These guys are parked right next to me too, so a little hollered at him. That was just a shakedown pass. He might be even faster than that, but that car is not slow. All right, I got to look at the log and see how much boost we left with, but that was a 710. I don't know why it doesn't show his time. I guess because it's just a no time type deal. But the 60 foot didn't improve much. And I didn't get a mile an hour. I don't know what the hell happened on that one. But I got a time of 710. So we might be able to do something here today. I might throw some timing at it and a little bit more at the launch, a little more RPM or something. Goldie gets another kill, baby! We're really bullying these big wheel guys today. And that was a lot on the hit, and it took the whole hit. So, I smell weird things. Cars being pushed hard, and just doing so effing good. I just can't believe how good she's doing. I'm gonna go grab that time slip and see how it did. You gotta walk all the way up to the front to get them. It's a whole thing. But it's a nice opportunity for the car to cool down. So let's see what it ran. I'm having a pretty good day at the track, I'm not gonna lie. The car's running pretty good. It's running a couple 7.1s, which is pretty good for it. I'd really like to see some 7.0s or 6.9s, but I don't know if it's, I just don't know if it's in the air tonight. But I keep turning up the launch RPM. I'm not sure if that's gonna help the 60 foot or hurt it. I almost feel like having the launch RPM or the two-step set below my stall speed might kind of help it, boom, like help it hit the stall a little harder and propel the car better. But I don't know if there's any truth to that. So I think I'm gonna run this pass right now on higher RPM, see if the 60 foot gets any better. And if it doesn't, I'll probably try taking like a couple hundred RPM off of the two-step and seeing if I can kind of slingshot it into a better 60 foot. I'm just not really sure what's gonna work the best, but I'm targeting like 14 or 15 PSI on the launch, which is more than we ever would have dreamed of doing with the old axle setup. So with the new axle, I can just turn the boost up to the moon, evidently, and the track's holding everything today. It's really good prep. They're putting a lot of glue down. I think this organization, HTI, that rented the track out, spent the big money on getting the good glue, the good prep, and honestly, these big wheel cars need that because they're all on hard tires. You can't get a radial with a 24-inch rim. So I think they spend the extra and get the extra prep, and that just works out awesome for the rest of us. So really, like $60, I was like outraged at first for the test and tune, but now I'm like, damn, that's like $60 for like a private track rental basically. There's no lines in the lanes, and the car is just dead hooking every time. So let's see what we can get done today. All right, we're racing this white car. So last pass was a 714, 152 60 foot. So we saw a slight improvement on the 60 foot. They are laying some hella glue down right now because they're about to start competing. There's like a class, a big wheel class that's about to go down. But let's get real for a minute. I'm now 3-0 against these big wheel guys, and they're not liking it. I'm starting to hear a little bit of smack talk. The car's running consistent 7.1s at 95 miles an hour. I keep kind of giving it a little more timing and changing this and that, and nothing's really changing that much. I think on my next pass, I'm gonna probably take like 150 RPM out of the launch RPM, maybe even 200. I'll probably take 200 out of the launch RPM and see if it helps or hurts the 60 foot. Because as I stated earlier, I kind of feel like a little slingshot effect might be beneficial here rather than just smoothly rolling into power. There's nothing I can do to run more boost, and adding timing is really not adding any mile an hour, so I don't think it's adding any power. If you continue adding timing without seeing increase in power, you're probably going to start knocking. So I'm not going to go down that road. We'll just leave the timing where it's at. And I'm going to experiment with the 60-foot RPM. We're going to target the same boost, but lower RPM, and see if we can just kind of sling it into a faster 60-foot. This car is right on the cusp of a 6.9 right now, and I would just be so stoked. I think I am going to hang out and let it get dark and let everything cool down, let the air get a little better. I think it'll be worth it. I do just want to go on the record of saying I smell things coming out of the Z that I've never smelled before. And it's kind of hard to explain. Some of you might understand this. When you pull a head bolt out, when you're taking an engine apart and you start pulling head bolts, there's a certain smell that's on the bolts. And it's like a burnt oil smell that has been trapped under that bolt for years and years. And I don't know what makes it smell that way, but that's what the car smells like right now. Like, I'm smelling old, broke down, trapped oil coming from the Z, and I'm not sure why. There's nothing leaking out of it. There's no fluids, nothing's getting wet. The catch can is not emitting any fluids. I don't know. It almost smelled sulfury, so I was like feeling the battery to see if like the battery is like overcharging or getting hot. But as of right now, I don't have any indication of any issue besides the strange smell. So we're gonna see what transpires from that. All right, y'all, so I took 200 RPM out of the launch RPM, hoping to kind of have more of a snap into the converter stall, see if that helps. Everything else is left alone. So we'll just have to see. Hopefully that gets me a little bit better 60-foot. Man, the car's making weird smells. I'm sure something's about to happen. I'm sure of it. The car smells real strange. But I'm in the lanes right now, and I'm not sure who I'm racing just yet. Alright, so that was another 7.1 with a 152 or 154 60-foot, so really no change. I lowered the launch RPMs a little bit then, but I lowered them even more now. Trying to kind of test my theory with our 60-foot. The time's really the same, 7.1. There's really nothing else I can do to make any more power. I adjusted the fuel table a little bit, but it's not going to make any big difference. So really, we just have to kind of keep dialing in this RPM on the launch. I don't think it's even leaving at the RPM or the boost that I want. I don't think it's able to reach it at that RPM. So really, like, once you lower the RPM to a certain point, we're going to lose the ability to create the boost that we're asking for. Higher RPM, we can create more boost, but we're going to be a little bit more up against the stall speed. So right now, I still have the boost target set at like 14 PSI. It launched at like 13 on the last pass, so that's why I think our RPMs are just too low. But we're going to go ahead and lower the RPM still a little bit more and find out what's better, having boost and being up against the stall on the brake, or having less boost and being below the stall so we can kind of hammer into the stall speed. All right, y'all, I just landed myself in a cash race for a 7.0 index, which is about as fast as the Z's ever gone. And we're going up against a Gen 3 Camaro with some nitrous. I haven't seen a Gen 3 Camaro that I know of, but anyway, that's who we're racing. There's only 6 cars in our class, and it's going to be an 80-20 split, $600, I believe. All right, baby, we're going up, 7.0 index, racing a Gen 3 Camaro on spray. Round 1 to win, baby! right, y'all, we took the W in the first round. I don't know what time it ran, but I got a win line, and I'm pretty sure the car didn't run a 6 because it spun. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next round. Let me try to meet up with my people here and figure out who I'm racing, and we're moving on. I won my first round. There was only 6 cars in the class, $600 purse, 80-20 split. So first and second get paid. I won my first round. We came around, we drew cards. I won the buy. So I'm in the finals. So I'm getting my money back for today, for sure. And if I win, then I'm getting a little more than that. There is a first gen Camaro sitting right in front of us. Beautiful car. Probably goes way faster than 7.0s. And then the other car is this white F-body Camaro, which is also a really nice car. Way up front there, and you can maybe see. And they're going to be racing each other, and all I'm doing is breaking the beams and getting ready for the finals, baby! But it's getting cold. My left rear tire lost a whole bunch of air throughout the evening. I don't know what I picked up there, but man, this has been an awesome event. I've had at least a dozen people just in disbelief with the engine that's in the Z, just with the Z in general, and that it's just a crappy little 2.8 liter, and everybody's just loving the car. Just, these big wheel events are just such a vibe. Like, everyone's just so cool. The cars are so badass, and it's definitely something that you should try. Like, so my laptop's dead at this point. The tune is what it is, and I'm a little worried about spinning, but man, the prep's been so good today. I think it's going to be a good turnout. So anyway, we're going to watch these guys go. We're going to get up and break the beams and get ready to race the winner. For those of you who don't know what a buy run is, there's 2 ways you end up with a buy run in competition. One way is there is an odd number of cars remaining in the field, and you draw a lucky number that gets you that single spot, makes you the odd man. The other way is a competition buy, where the competitor who you were going to race breaks down and cannot make it to the starting line to compete. When you have a buy run, typically it is required at minimum that you break the beams, which means you pull up, you stage, and you roll through the beams of the starting line, but you do not have to cross the finish line. You can back right up and not even go down the track at all. Some guys will choose to use their buy run to run down the track for data or to try to dial the car in a little bit closer, but sometimes it makes more sense to just skip the pass altogether, not put any extra heat into the car, and get ready for the next round. All right, baby, this is it. Finals against the first gen Camaro 7.0 index. They want left lane. Gonna have to break out. Rico Suave. Back at home now, and it was a pretty awesome day at the track. We did get to take home some money. The purse was a little bit bigger than I initially thought. We actually ended up making a couple $100 on the deal. Recent race events, we've had a little bit of winnings coming along between the first place finish that Matt got in the Z at IFO, a runner-up that I got at the slow car index in the Lexus, and this 7.0 index in the Z. Made about $800 in the last month. So starting to feel like a pro. Well, let me tell you, hoping to get into some more cash races. I do like competing, but I need to make these cars a bit faster if I want to be able to compete and actually make some real money. Actually made some money today and paid for that expensive test and tune, and also a little bit gas money as well. I'm going to put any extra money I have there towards replacing the transmission in Old Red, so we don't have to worry about not making it to the track next time. But that's going to do it for this week. That's all I got for you guys. If you're noticing this mess behind me, you'll have to stay tuned and see what's going on with that. That's a whole other story. But that's going to do it for this week. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys tagging along for the ride, and we'll see you later.